Before Rome, before Greece, before Alexander set his sights eastward, there was Persia.
The Rise and Fall of the Persian Empire. Part 1. The Ancient Lands of Persia. A vast land of towering mountains, rolling deserts, and fertile river valleys. A place where great kings would rise, where empires would be built, and where history would be changed forever. But the story of Persia does not begin with an empire. It begins with nomads, wanderers, people who lived on the edge of great civilizations, waiting for their moment to step into history.
This is their story.
To understand Persia's rise, we must first look at the world it was born into.
The 6th century BCE was an era of mighty kingdoms and ancient powers.
To the west, Babylon reigned over Mesopotamia, with its towering ziggurats and sprawling cities. A land of scholars, warriors, and kings, a civilization that had stood for millennia. To the north, the fierce and powerful Lydian kingdom controlled the wealth of Anatolia. Its gold-rich rivers and vast trading networks made it one of the richest lands of the ancient world. And in the east, stretching across the rugged Iranian plateau, lay the Medes, a powerful empire that had once fought alongside Babylon to destroy the mighty Assyrian kingdom. For years, the Medes ruled over the scattered Persian tribes,
and Persia was still a land of scattered villages and wandering clans. A people without a king, without an empire. But not for long. Long before Persia became an empire, it was home to nomadic tribes. These early Persians lived in small clans, moving across the highlands of what is now Iran. They herded sheep and cattle, traded with nearby civilizations, and survived off the land. Life was harsh. The sun scorched the desert by day, and freezing winds swept the mountains by night. But the Persians were resilient. They were warriors, skilled in horseback riding and archery, traits that would one day make their armies feared across the world. Unlike the settled civilizations of Mesopotamia, where kings ruled from palaces, Persian leaders emerged from among the people. Tribal chiefs and noble families led their clans, passing down traditions, stories, and a fierce desire for independence. But for now, Persia was still in the shadows, under the rule of the Medes. What do we know about these early Persians? Archaeologists have uncovered artifacts, pottery, weapons, and ancient inscriptions that tell the story of a people growing in strength. Their beliefs were deeply spiritual, and their religion, one of the oldest in the world, would shape their empire for centuries to come. It was called Zoroastrianism, a faith centered on the battle between good and evil, light and darkness. It spoke of one great god, Ahura Mazda, and an eternal struggle between truth and deception. This religion would later influence empires, philosophies, and even modern faiths. But in these early days, it was simply a reflection of the Persian spirit, one that believed in destiny, in honor, and in the power of righteousness. A land of strategic importance, Persia was not just any land. It was a land of opportunity. The towering Zagros Mountains provided natural protection against invasion. Its fertile valleys allowed agriculture to flourish, feeding growing populations. But most importantly, Persia sat at the crossroads of the ancient world. Trade routes from India, Mesopotamia, and Anatolia passed through its lands. Caravans of silk, spices, and gold crossed the Persian plateau. Persia was not yet an empire, but it had something that would make it one: position, resources, and ambition. While Persia remained a vassal state, the Medes continued to grow in power. In 612 BCE, they joined forces with the Babylonians to destroy the once mighty Assyrian Empire. Cities were burned, kingdoms were conquered, and for a time,
the Medes stood as one of the great rulers of the ancient world.
For years, they controlled Persia, keeping its tribes under their rule. Persian leaders paid tribute, served in their armies, and accepted their place as subjects.
But all of that was about to change, because in the heart of Persia, a leader was about to rise. A man who would defy the Medes.
A man who would rewrite history.
A new leader emerges.
His name was Cyrus. Born into a noble Persian family, Cyrus was unlike any leader before him. He saw beyond the tribal conflicts, beyond the divisions of his people. He saw something greater, an empire, one that would unite the Persians, challenge the Medes, and reshape the ancient world forever. But how could a small Persian kingdom stand against the mighty Medes? That is a story for the next episode. In the next chapter of our story, we meet Cyrus the Great, the king who toppled empires, freed captives, and changed the course of history. How did he rise to power? How did he defeat the Medes? And how did he build one of the greatest empires the world has ever seen? Stay tuned for part 2. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. The story of Persia is just beginning.